Another big story for you this afternoon at 5 on the answer desk. We are digging deeper into the spike in juvenile crime. We've been telling you about recent car thefts and other problems. We've also heard from police who are calling for action. So what are lawmakers doing about all of it? Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Mike Savino took those questions to the state capitol. He's live right now in Hartford with some answers. Mike, what'd you find out?
Well, Mark, Democrats and Republicans in the House actually met today to talk about this issue. They both say that they're concerned not just with that rise in crime that you talked about, but also the severity of some of these recent incidents. So I asked them, can they actually agree on some changes?
So the whole system really needs a top to bottom look through.
House Republicans this morning called for major reforms to the juvenile justice system. Crimes committed by juveniles, specifically motor vehicle and property thefts, have been on the rise in 2021. And recently, some thefts have become dangerous. Just last week, police say a 17-year-old struck and killed a pedestrian in New Britain while driving a stolen vehicle. Then a Glastonbury woman says she was shot at when she confronted teens trying to steal her car.
We can tell you right now, whatever's in place right now is not working.
Police are also calling for changes. Right now in Connecticut, anyone under 18 is treated as a juvenile for most offenses. Republicans want more serious penalties for repeat juvenile offenders, as well as dedicated juvenile detention facilities instead of group homes. We asked Democrats after a meeting if they're open to change. They are, but they're only willing to go so far.
We're not rewriting the entire criminal statute, right? We're not trying to throw out reforms, at least from our side.
House Speaker Matt Ritter says some of the fixes may not require new legislation. But first, lawmakers need to talk with the court system. Possible changes include making sure judges have access to criminal records when ruling on whether or not to detain juveniles. They also want to help teens get help from existing diversionary programs after their first arrest.
We're not going to want just window dressing. We're going to want substantive changes.
Part of the disagreement, Republicans say the rise in crime is the result of major reforms to the juvenile justice system. Democrats say that's not the case. They say COVID is still limiting programs that could keep teenagers out of trouble.
I don't think this is related to any legislative changes. I think it is a pandemic-driven increase in crime.
Now, Republicans today also wanted a special session, but instead they will meet again next week to talk about this with Democrats. That also raises the question, what do police want to see in these talks? I'll answer that coming up on Eyewitness News at 6. For now, live from the Capitol, Mike Savino, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.